Hey everybody, this is Pippin with pippinsplugins.com, and I'm going to give you a review real quick of the WP Editor plugin. This is a plugin by Benjamin Rojas, who is an excellent developer that I've been working pretty closely with recently on my Easy Digital Downloads project. And this plugin is really cool because it takes everything that a great text editor or code editor has and places it into the default WordPress theme and plugin editor. So it gets rid of the really pretty terrible editor that we have inside of WordPress for editing code and makes it much, much better. This is the site for it. It's wpeditor.net. You can also find it in the plugin repository if you go just do a search for WP Editor. It's technically in beta right now, but as far as I've used it, it works perfectly. So I want to just go and give you a walkthrough of how it works. We go and activate the plugin, and once we do that, we're going to have a new settings tab right here called WP Editor. But let's first just take a look at our plugin editor. You see that we now have a link that says plugin editor, and it's actually removed the one that says editor. So we do that, and it looks really, really similar. We still have the same ability to select the plugin that we want to edit. We see all of our files right here. But the big difference is that we have syntax highlighting. We have syntax highlighting, code indentation, etc. We can go through any one of these files that we want. Let's open up a bigger plugin really quickly. Let's go to Loveit Pro and select that. And now what's really cool is that it's actually got Ajax navigation for inside of our folder directories. One of the worst things about the default editor is that you can't actually go in and see each of the files inside of the directories unless they're directly included into the plugin that you're editing. But here we can actually go through and see any one of the files that we want. We can open loveit.js, and there it is. We can go widgets.php, and it's all Ajax, and it's really nice and snappy. Updating it, saving it, etc. works exactly the same way. And we have the same thing for the theme editor. We have a new button over here called Theme Editor. Now this one looks really dark, but that's because I've actually applied the Midnight theme to it. And I'll show you in just a moment. We actually have new themes for the editors as well, much like you will for your code editors. And once again, we can go through here into any one of these directories. And now what's really cool is you can also open up any of the images into a lightbox. So if you have images here inside of your theme, you can open any one of them you want. So we're looking at the default 2011 theme, and here we're just taking a look at each of the images that we have. So it's really a full-blown editor, and it's really, really cool. Let's take a look at some of the settings really quickly now. We have a nice settings page that looks very similar to some of the WordPress settings. It actually looks kind of like the contextual help tab, but that's okay because it's still using default WordPress styles. So one thing that you can do is you can actually choose to enable replace the default editor links or hide them. So for example, if I choose no to hide the default plugin editor, and now I look under plugins, I have both editor and plugin editor. So editor is the original one, and plugin editor is the replaced one. So that's pretty cool. And we can do that same thing for both the theme and the plugin settings. We can also change the theme on our editor. So for example, let's go to the Eclipse theme for the theme editor. Now let's go to Appearance and Theme Editor, and now we have a new Eclipse theme. And this is a nice little light theme. Or we can take a look at Ruby Blue. Let's see what that looks like. And there's the Ruby Blue theme. So if you like dark backgrounds, you like light backgrounds or whatever, it's got both of them in there. It's really cool. You can enable or disable the file extensions that you want enabled. You can enable or disable line numbers. So let's disable line numbers for a moment. Let's go here. Now let's refresh the page. And now we don't have any line numbers. That's great. Enable or disable line wrapping or highlight the active line, etc. You have all these different options. So anyway, if you do any editing inside of WordPress for your themes or your plugins, I would highly recommend going and check this out. I probably will never use the built-in editors again because this one does such a phenomenal job in improving that experience. Really, you shouldn't use the inline editors much anyway, because if you cause a problem, let's say you cause a syntax error, if it's in a plugin, it's not as big a deal. But if you cause a syntax error in a theme, well, then you can crash your entire site and you might have to restore it via FTP. But if you do need to do it, this is what you want to use for it. This is a plugin written by Benjamin Rojas, and if I've mispronounced your name, Ben, I apologize. You can go to wpeditor.net and you can find it. If you like, donate a little bit. It's a free plugin. Help them out. And you can find it in the WordPress plugin repository. Anyway, thanks for watching.